So welcome back to day 4, our playthrough of Among Trees. So first things first today, let's just check our inventory. We've got a couple of things to eat, so let's do that. We'll find more food along the way. Now we are going to the mine, so we've got our pickaxe on us. So let's press M for map. So there are two places. Now this was the map hint that we got at the pile for larch. We already went there yesterday, so we've got the larch that we need. Now there are two maps, there are two caves. There's one here and there's one here. Now this one is guarded by a bear, which isn't too troublesome because the bear is kind of here and you just need to sneak around the back. Well, not least. You don't even need to sneak that much, you just walk around. But anyway, this one doesn't have a bear, so we're going to head to this one. So we're this is, as you walk out the door here, we haven't made a compass, but you don't really need one. You're facing north pretty much, and if you head off in this direction, it's pretty much northeast. But we need to get to the waterfall, and then we just follow the rocks around from there, and that will get us to the cave where we need to go. So some food we can eat along the way. So because we've still only got a small backpack, we've only got 9 free slots here. Now one of those is going to be taken up by what we pick up in the cave. We're also going to find some more dogbane up there. So all in all, we don't have that many pockets free. We also tend to find a chicory or two going up here as well. And as mentioned, for the larger backpack we need 4 chicory. So we will pick that up if we see it. We can eat that when we get peckish. So to get to the cave, you just need to head to this waterfall here and then just follow the rocks around, which is what we'll do. But we also need 8 beeswax for one of the clothing items, I think it is. And rather than have to come back here, so it's probably a good idea. So we did get stung there, but as you can see, we didn't lose that much health. And the bees do give up after a little while. We'll pick that up on the way back. But that means that there are 2 items there, which are going to fill 2 backpack slots. Unless we eat the honey straight away, which we could do, because there isn't much use for it in the game. So here's the cave. Blue Pearl Cave. But what we're going to do before we go in there is we're going to head off and get some more dogbane, which we're going to need. So ruby beet, that we need to cook. I'm not going to pick it up just in case we find some chicory. Also not picking up sticks right now, which sticks do respawn, whereas I don't think the food does. I'm not entirely sure of that. Whether the food respawns, that is, or how often it respawns once you pick it up. It's starving. So here's one of those lime green patches again. So all we did from the cave is we just followed the rocks around. And that gets us to another dogbane patch. So as before, when we find these, they're always in groups of 8, but they stack to 7, so we're only going to pick 7 up. So that's 6. We tend to find dogbane all over the map. Now we're going to need another 4 of these, I think. So I'm going to grab those. That'll be for the glue, although we could probably go for it later, but let's see. Yeah, we've got plenty of space. So let's do that. Burdock root, we can eat that raw. It gives us quite a lot of hunger there. Or fills quite a lot of our hunger bar. So here's another honey thing. So I'm going to go for this because we need 8 beeswax later on for one of the clothing items. We will find ourselves running around the map looking for honeycombs later. So I think this is about the distance where they'll be spawning. There we go. So that's 4 honeycombs we've got now. So we did use one actually, so that's only 3. So we need to find 5 more. Okay, so let's get back to the cave. Again, just follow the rocks around, keeping them on our right hand side this time. As mentioned, there are 2 caves in the game. This is one of them. And this one is not guarded by anything. I'm not sure if the developer intends to put a bear in this area later on. But it makes this cave a rather obvious choice if you have to deal with the bear at the other one. So let's put this in our number 3 slot. But you also get enough of this lime scale here. In fact, you get more than you need for the rest of the game, so you don't need to go to the other cave at all. Because you only need, I think, 4, maybe 6 in the game, 3 then. This gives you, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This gives you 10. But also this cave gives you another blueprint, which gives you the water can. You don't always find the blueprints in the same place. It depends what locations you visit first. You tend to find the blueprints in the same order. Excuse me. For example, we found the lockpick one first. If we went to the place where the larch trees were, we would have found the lockpick blueprint there. So the location you find them, the order you find them is always the same, but the location you find them depends on which place you get to first. But you always get the lockpick one first, then you get the pickaxe one, and then you get the watering can one. Next one I think is the tent, and then the fire for the tent. So we did we pick up? No, we didn't, did we? I think I hit this, but didn't pick it up. There we go. Alright, so let's get home, and we've got the fishing rod made, so we've got plenty of time, so let's go fishing. It's more driftwood, but we don't need any more. I'm just going to take this stump off soon. There is something we need for it later on, I just can't remember what. So we've got 3 of those, we need 4 for glue, so that's, I think that's a total of 8 that we've got now, which is all we need. So I didn't find any chicory today, which is a shame. But we've already got 2, which is 1 more than usual at this stage of the game. So we can't argue too much. Alright, let's dump everything off, pick up the fishing rod, and then go fishing. far as getting the cooking room going, we've got the driftwood, we've got the bolts, we're pretty close on the planks. Or maybe we need to cut down some trees, not sure. Alright, food. That's food. Put that there for now, put that there. There, tools go in here. This is where the lockpick is, yep. Alright, so let's go fishing. So there's our fishing rod. So we are hungry, so we could probably eat all of this. So I'll take all the food with me. Alright, that's good. We'll probably find a bit more on the way anyway. So we can make our glue now. That's for the sewing room. We've got the dogbane stems, we've got the fir planks. So we need to cut down 3 more trees or 4 more trees, and that'll get us the cooking room as well. Alright, so let's just arm this up in number 3 slots. So for fishing, I always go to this spot here. Not saying it's the best spot, but there's some more food that we needed. I guess I'll pick this up now. Just checking. Yeah, we've got 6 pockets. And you need about 4 or 5 empty pockets. So I always fish from here. I'm not saying it's the best spot, but it works pretty well. So what you have to do is just look for ripples on the water, and then you just aim for those. You don't have to be that accurate. Then it seems to be about 50-50 whether you get a bite or not. And if you don't immediately get a bite and you see more ripples, just cast again, and it happens pretty quick. So there's a bite right there. So fish goes one way, you just need to move the rod the other way, and then you keep the bar in between those 2 lines there. You see one line at the top, one line at the bottom. So that was a bleak with a waltz bleat skin. Now we do need 3 of these for a number of items. So we need to take that. We need a total of 6 if we're going to make, I think it's for outfits where you need the bleak skin, I'm not sure. So if you only make 1 of the outfits, then you only need 3 bleak skin. We'll probably end up making 2. So again, the fish goes one way, you just need to move the rod the other way and just keep that white bar there in between those 2 lines. But the distance between the 2 lines does vary depending on what type of fish it is. Not sure if you noticed, but the distance between the 2 bars there was a bit smaller, which told us it was a perch. And you can generally tell what you've got with a bit of practice. So this is a regular bleak, for example, because the distance between the 2 lines there is, I think that's as big as it comes. Let's see. Yeah, regular bleak. Alright, so what have we got so far? We've got 3 fish, 1 skin, 1 bone. As you can see, that's why we need some quite a few pockets here. So there are other types of fish as well. So you need to be careful because we don't want to have to start dumping stuff. Alright, so looking at the lines, the distance in the lines here, this looks like a bleak with a bleak skin. Yeah. Yeah, you get to spot the differences. Because each one is slightly different. So the one with the smallest gap between the 2 lines is a pike perch. Then the next one is a perch, next one is a bleak with bleak skin, and then the one with the largest distance between the 2 lines is a bleak. But you get to spot them after a while anyway. Alright, so just looking at the bottom right there, so we're getting quite tired, so I'm just going to keep going here, until I got a few more fish and that gets into the red zone. I'll be back once we're at that stage. So actually it's not that much later now. I think this is only the second fish since I broke off there. But after this one we're going to head back, and that way we can cut down, I think it's the 4 trees that we need. So just looking at what we got, we're going to need a few more fish bones. We're going to need this to make sewing kits, and we do need a 3rd one of these. So we're going to have to come back and fish later. It is getting cold now anyway. Actually, while we're here, I'm going to see if I can get those trees down before we start freezing and losing health. It'll be quite tight, but I think we can do it. So as you can see, the temperature is dropping now. And once that temperature bar, or once that temperature quadrant there is empty, then we start to lose health quite quickly. But we need 2 more trees. I think we can do this. Now, whether we've got enough time at the end of the day to actually start cooking, I don't know. Alright, so let's get this last one. Yeah, we're good, I think. Because it means that by the time we get back to the hut, we're still going to be full health, I think. And once we, oops, inventory full, anything we can drop, well, let's eat those. We can do without the sticks. So that's 12 fir planks, which is what we needed actually. So let's head back. So cutting it a bit tight there, but as long as that temperature square there stays with something in it, we're not going to start losing health. It's only when it's totally empty. Very good. Alright, so food. What we're going to do is just put the food in here for now. We're sleepy. So I think we're going to have to cook tomorrow morning. So that's going to be for crafting. So I need the firewood. I'll do that tomorrow. 4 bolts. I've just got enough time to do this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I think we've probably got time just to cook something. So as far as the recipes are concerned, I've got some sticks. Okay. So you put sticks in down here. Now 1 fish and 1 mushroom tends to give you something that fills you up. Now this one, okay, that's as good as filling you up. So that means next time we need to eat, that's a full health bar. Sorry, that's a full hunger bar right there. And then to pick up the food, we just press E there. So the icon for the food is always the same, but the what it gives you depends on what ingredients you just put into the meal there. So this one, as you saw, almost gives us a full hunger bar. A little bit of health and a little bit of temperature as well. You don't really care too much about the temperature because you don't end up spending a lot of time outdoors. But so that'll do it for the end of day 4, I think. So day 5, I think what we will probably do is cook up a bit more food. But we're also going to, we've got all the ingredients we need now to do this room tomorrow morning. And we'll see what we need to start getting some clothing and some backpacks going. So that's what we'll do on day 5. So anyway, I'm going to end the episode here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning for the start of day 5.